Last year, ARK Invest published their Big Idea report for 2020 and informed the world about some of the most disruptive technology to keep an eye on for the year. The report covered deep learning, streaming media, electric vehicles, 3D printing, autonomous ride-hailing, digital wallets, Bitcoin, and more. As an investor, had you followed their lead and tracked some of the main players in these industries, you would have done incredibly well. $1,000 invested in Tesla on January 2nd, 2020 would have grown to $8,311 by December 31st, 2020 for a 736% return. Using the same amount in dates, an investment in Netflix would have grown to $1,658 or 66%, or into 3D printing company Proto Labs to $1,499 or 50%. The S&P 500 index returned 15.7% in 2020, so these companies and others in the industries that Cathie Wood and team reported on have significantly outperformed the market. If you're experiencing FOMO right now, don't worry. It's time for Cathie Wood and ARK Invest Big Ideas 2021, and in this video series, we'll take a deep dive into everything you need to know. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so when the full ARK report on their big ideas comes out, you won't miss an episode. First up, virtual worlds. Cathie and ARK are projecting that revenue from virtual worlds could approach $400 billion by 2025. This means the global gaming market could increase at a 16% CAGR, or a compound annual growth rate, during the next 5 years. This will be driven predominantly by in-game spending. The global virtual reality market, including AR glasses and AR smartphones, could grow at a 59% CAGR over the next 5 years, growing from $3 billion today to $28 billion in 2025. Facebook's most recent Oculus model sold out, and the technology for things like Google Glass in years prior were just not ready. But now, Cathie and team think that narrative is shifting. Next up, she talked about digital wallets. ARK Invest sees the digital wallet opportunity to be $4.6 trillion by 2025, driven by a user base of around 230 million users in the US by 2025. These digital wallets have become like banks in our pockets, like Cash App and Venmo, and with the importance of contactless payments increasing, the traditional banking sector is squarely in harm's way.
And their cost of customer acquisition is a fraction of that of traditional banks. $20 versus anywhere from $150 to $1,500. And the reason banks were willing to pay so much is their customers were so loyal. Well, we think that's about to change and that banks are in trouble. And we think that the valuation of these digital wallets is going to scale enormously during the next 5 to 10 years.
Third on the big ideas for 2021 list was Bitcoin playing a pivotal role as corporate cash. We've seen companies like MicroStrategy and Square moving their corporate treasury funds into Bitcoin, and if the S&P 500 companies were to put just 1% of their treasury assets into Bitcoin, it would increase the price per Bitcoin by $50,000. If they were to move 10% of their assets, it would result in a Bitcoin price increase of $400,000 per coin. Institutions will also play a huge role in the Bitcoin space, as banks are now allowed to custody Bitcoin, and these federally chartered banks can become nodes on any public blockchain to enable less expensive and faster settlement. Based on ARK Invest's Monte Carlo simulations, institutional allocations between 2.5 and 6.5% could impact Bitcoin's price by $200,000 to $500,000 per coin. This would be driven by pension funds, insurance companies, and sovereign wealth funds. The new SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, has spent time at MIT and is very pro-Bitcoin. He understands the technology, and once the market cap of Bitcoin grows past $1 trillion into the $2 trillion range, Cathie Wood believes the SEC will act more favorably toward the asset in terms of ETF and mutual fund regulation for investors. Fourth on the list, of course, we have electric vehicles. ARK is expecting that sales of smaller, cheaper neighborhood EVs will rise dramatically as a share of total EV sales over the next few years. ARK Invest sees an 82% CAGR in terms of overall EV sales over the next 5 years and reaching 40 million units annually by 2025 if the traditional automakers can overcome some major hurdles.
EV sales last year were 2.2 million. They grew more than 20%. It was around 25-27% last year. And the traditional market for autos, so the internal combustion engine, those were down. And now we've seen this 2 years in a row. And I think we're going to continue to see this. We're going to continue to see gas-powered cars, the sales fall, and electric vehicle sales scale at an 82% annualized rate over the next 5 years. The reason is the costs are going to continue to fall, so that by 2025, the cost of a like-for-like electric vehicle comparable to a Toyota Camry will be $18,000, while a Toyota Camry will be about $26,000. And the cost of electric vehicles will continue to fall from there.
In the next episode, we'll take a look at the rest of Cathie Wood and team's big ideas for 2021 as we await the full report to come out. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you did, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope that you have a great day.